So do you remember your very?
I do. So it was probably, had to have been 15 years ago, if not longer. We were on vacation on Martha's Vineyard, and I don't, I can't remember what made me try the class, but my husband was there, my daughter was there, and I went in, and I remember she started the class with an Om, and I just remember thinking, looking around, you know, trying to follow what everyone was doing, with the oming and the staying up with the postures, and um, I remember thinking, if my friends could see me now, they would think, oh, that's Terry, because always trying something different, always on the go. And I came out of the class, and it's funny, it's one of those things that always chokes me up. My husband said, "You look like a different person."
Oh
And I felt like a different person. And it's one of those things, like, it was such a pivotal moment in my life that I think it brings back such a, a change. Like, that was the moment that my life changed. And I think that's why it makes me so emotional. And so we came back from vacation, and he had gone to the dentist. Our dentist is in Londonderry. And right across the hall from the dentist was a yoga studio. And so he brought me back the flyer with the times for the classes and everything. And I went and loved it. That was where one of my first instructors, who really helped me to evolve in my postures and just the whole process. She turned out to be a very good friend of mine.
Mm.
And for years, I said, oh, I would love to be a teacher. I would love to be a teacher. I would go to classes, and people would say, are you a teacher? And I'm like, no, 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 no. So I started looking at different programs. The studio actually had a program, but at the time I worked every other weekend. And on the opposite weekends, my daughter was home. On the weekends that I worked, she was with her dad. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be gone every weekend. She was young. I wanted to make sure that I was there with her to raise her. And so just as she was finishing high school and starting college, I said, I started looking again, found a program that I thought would work, but I'd have to adjust my work schedule, put it on the back burner, and must have been, 2.5 years ago, I said, I'm going to look again. Search the web, found a program that I'd only have to tweak my work schedule a little bit for.
That's better.
And I was pretty much set. I was going to do it. I was going to go to my boss at work and say, would this be possible for me to do this? And I went out to do some gardening, some yard work. And I thought, let me just look one more time. And I literally came in, picked up the iPad, searched, and found the program that I ended up with, which was Yoga NH. It was one Thursday a month. I don't work on Thursdays, didn't interfere with my work schedule at all. It was a year-long program, so it wasn't everything, compacted into, a few months, right, where I'd be, out of my mind, going. And I went and met with the woman who runs the program, and it was funny because I was telling her about my first yoga class, and that was the first time I think I had ever told anybody, and got choked up. And every time since then, I cry. And that was it.
So now you said you were like a different person. I understand a lot of people say that is an effect, but if you can describe what do you mean by that? Like, exactly, what changed? What was the pivotal change? What did you feel that was
I would say that I think it really has to do with my outlook on life. Maybe gratitude is the best thing, or the thing that comes to mind is that I really feel like yoga has helped me to be grateful for what I have. And not that we shouldn't be if we don't practice yoga, but I don't know. It's the only. It's a peace, like a things don't bother me like they used to. Not that I still don't get aggravated or frustrated or whatever I do, but I can go back to my breath, even my yoga breath.
Always, right?
Just, it's the whole mindset. And I tell people, I love yoga. I love the physical benefits of yoga. As we age, it's helped me to be able to stay in shape. It's helped me with my running.
Mm.
But I think that the mind benefits are just as important, if not more important, than the physical aspect of it. And that's the only thing that I can think of. Is, like I said, it's a peace, a calming.
Thank you, Terry. That was a fabulous introduction to your first class.
And the one thing that I feel like so many people, it was funny, my daughter and I were up at the beach last year. We did a stand-up paddleboard yoga class, and they interviewed me because I was a yoga instructor. There was a guy that was doing like a documentary or something for his graduate program, and he said, if there was one thing that you could say to people about yoga, what would it be? And I said, don't be afraid. I hear so many people say, well, I'm not flexible. Well, I can't do this and I can't do that. It doesn't matter. It's not about how bendy you can be. It's not about putting your head on the floor or, wrapping your feet around your neck. There's so much more to it. And I wish that people would just get beyond worrying about what the person on the mat next to them is doing. Or the person, it's your practice. And I try to tell people that all the time. It's your practice. It's your body. Stay with it. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. And don't be afraid. If I had been afraid to try that class, I would never be where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the happiest point in my life that I've ever been, because I have this wonderful thing that I can hopefully pass on to other people. And I just hope that they get as much from it as I did.
Mm-hmm.
And continue to get.
Yeah. That's the reason why we're doing this, to help people get out and try their first yoga class, because the experience that you had, wow. If a lot of people can go out and get that experience, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
To spread that kind of news about the first class.
Yeah, and like I said, I think one of the biggest things with people, and I hear people say it all the time, well, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. And that, I think, is something that yoga has really helped with, too, is that everybody is going to be good at something. I'm going to be, I might be very good at yoga or running or math or something. I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses, as do you, as does everybody else. And I think it's more of being able to balance each other out with our strengths and weaknesses instead of comparing ourselves to other people. It's not a competition. Yoga isn't a competition. Life isn't a competition. It's about being present and being comfortable where you are in your life and accepting all of those strengths and weaknesses and insecurities and being able to grow from them. And not only yourself, but the people that you surround yourself with. Mm. And I think yoga has made me a better mother, a better wife, a better friend, a better, boss at work. I'm not sure that they would all agree with that. But actually, I teach now at work. I think I told you that. One of the days that I work on the weekends, I do a class with, whoever we can get into it. Usually I have like a group that wants to go. And when I had my annual evaluation this year, my boss said to me, he said, I don't know what you're doing. He said, I don't know if it's the yoga. He said, but this has been, in the 15 years you've been here, this has been your best year. And he said, not that you've had bad years. He said, but whatever it is that you're doing, and if it's the yoga, please keep it up.
That's awesome.
So, and we had a new guy that just started this past weekend, and he came to the class yesterday, and he came back, and he was like, I'm so relaxed. Like, and we deal with, my job is very stressful. We deal with life and death situations. Our patients, code. We have some of the sickest patients, that you could ever imagine that come down for their exams. So it's nice to be able to take that time and to be able to come back and be able to regroup. Mm. And I actually did bring, this was you can actually, I don't know if you want to post it or I could reprint it with differently, but the first class that I went to on Martha's Vineyard, she gave us a metta prayer, and I still have it. It's actually pinned. We have a bulletin board in our kitchen, and I have it pinned there. So when I finished my teacher training, I actually printed them out like on colored paper and had them framed for all of the girls that graduated with me. So it was just something that I kept, and I thought, let me pass it on.
May I be healthier. May I be happier. May I ride the waves of life. May I live in peace no matter what I'm given. May you be healthier. May you be happier. May you ride the waves of life. May you live in peace no matter what you are given. May we be happier. May we be healthier. May we ride the waves of life, and may we live in peace no matter what we are given.
The true definition of yoga.
It's beautiful.